One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, special guests. My name is Soma Somorjai, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Budapest, Hungary, for the draw of the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup 2022. Today's draw ceremony marks a key milestone on the road to this great event. We are very happy to be in the Hungarian Basketball Federation, House of Basketball, and it is a great pleasure to welcome our many guests. I would like to welcome Mr. Péter Bodnár, Secretary General of the Hungarian Basketball Federation, Mr. András Zaklis, FIBA Secretary General, and Mr. Kamil Novak, FIBA Europe Executive Director. The FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup 2022 will be played in July, with 16 teams getting ready to battle it out. In 2018, new trophies were unveiled for both the men's and women's under-17 competitions. These trophies were designed to celebrate the raw and true talents of the event and its players, who represent the future of the game. As we can see, it is very impressive. The FIBA Under-17 Women's Basketball Cup brings together the stars of tomorrow. The USA were crowned champions in the last edition of the tournament held in 2018, with a convincing win and their fourth straight title. This year the tournament will be hosted in Debrecen at the Phoenix and Oláh Gábor arenas, where players will take to the court from the 9th to the 17th to battle it out for the title of world champion. Here's a glimpse of what we can expect to see. Some great action from last summer's FIBA Under-16 Continental Championships that saw 12 countries book their ticket to Debrecen, Hungary. The national teams who will be taking part of this year's Under-17 World Cups are the host Hungary, from Africa, Mali and Egypt, from the Americas, USA, Canada, Mexico and Argentina, from Asia, Oceania. The teams will be determined in June at the FIBA Under-16 Women's Asian Champions. So for today, we'll have Asia 1, Asia 2, Asia 3 and Asia 4. From Europe, France, Germany, Slovenia, Spain, with the last spot is to be decided following FIBA's recent decision. One team from this list of 16 will have their dreams come true and lift this beautiful trophy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite on stage our first speaker for today. Please welcome Mr. Péter Bodnár, Secretary General of the Hungarian Basketball Federation.
Distinguished leaders of international basketball, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Hungarian Basketball Federation, I'd like to welcome all of you attending, either personally or online, at the draw of the Under-17 Women's Basketball World Cup 2022, right here in the freshly inaugurated House of Hungarian Basketball. Hungary and the Hungarian Basketball Federation has a great tradition in organizing top international basketball events. Our LOCs in the different cities in Hungary have proved several times that we can organize any event according to even the highest FIBA standards. The basketball community all over the world could experience an incredible development in the Hungarian basketball during the last 11 years. Basketball sports halls, basketball gyms were built and reconstructed. The number of our registered players increased from 25,000 to more than 90,000. This is a two-day data. Our youth national teams got incredible results during the last years. Our senior men national team qualified to the FIBA Eurobasket 2 times in a row. And regarding also the club competitions, let's say, our flagship women team from Sopron could get the silver medal in the EuroLeague Women, and the other important team from Sexart could win the bronze medal in the Eurocup Women. So altogether, we can see that this was a really very incredible decade that we can see. We organized international FIBA events during the last 11 years in every single year. And we are really very proud that we could continue to do so even during the last 2 years when the pandemic situation made an incredible and significant influence on the organizing conditions and the tournament budgets. Certainly, we couldn't have done this way of development if we hadn't had the appropriate background. In Hungary, 12 years ago, the Hungarian government declared the sport as a strategic area. And together with the unique Hungarian corporate tax financing system, we had enough resources to finance the steps of this development. And that's why, in my opinion, I can say that this system, the sports financing system in Hungary, is really very unique. And the Hungarian basketball could thank a lot to the present government and to the present administration. We, the Hungarian Basketball Federation and the LOC, will use every effort to provide the best possible circumstances in Debrecen this summer for the World Cup. And certainly, that's why it's also important for us, beside the demand of the important sporting results of our national team, it's a very important goal for us that all the participating team and all the participants should experience the great Hungarian and famous hospitality. We look forward to seeing you all Debrecen this summer, and I also would like to thank to FIBA that very first time in the FIBA history we could get the 3 years package of World Cup, which was the idea from FIBA and Mr. Zaklis, Secretary General, because from organization point of view, I can confirm that it can give enough time for the organizer to prepare, and this is an excellent tool to promote our beloved sport, basketball, in our country. So thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you all this summer in Debrecen, in Hungary. And now I pass the floor to the next speaker. Thank you very much that you are here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bodnar. What an incredible opportunity to host the FIBA Under-17 Women's Basketball World Cup this year in Debrecen, Hungary. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the stage the FIBA Secretary General, Mr. Andreas Zaklis.
Dear Secretary General Peter Bodnar, dear FIBA Executive Director Europe Kamil Novak, ladies and gentlemen, friends of basketball from around the world. On behalf of the FIBA Central Board, I would like to welcome you to the draw of the Under-17 Women's Basketball World Cup. FIBA has been working very closely with the Hungarian Basketball Federation for many years, and I want to thank them for all their efforts so far, and especially for hosting this draw at the new, impressive House of Hungarian Basketball in Budapest, on the day that the Federation celebrates its 80th anniversary. The Under-17 World Cup is an important event in the women's calendar because it is the start of the journey of the young players. For many of them, it is the start of their strong relationship with the national team. And for virtually all of them, it is the beginning of their world-level competition experiences. The women's basketball star of the future will play in Debrecen in the 6th edition of the Under-17 World Cup. And they will all have one dream, the dream of a professional basketball career and of winning medals wearing the national team jersey. FIBA will continue supporting them in this beautiful journey. With a strong organizer like the Hungarian Basketball Federation, we will build on the good experience of the Under-19 World Cup last year in the midst of the pandemic through the innovative multi-year hosting model, which brings a Youth World Cup to Hungary every year, 2021, 2022, and 2023. And with our many programs for women in basketball, one of FIBA's strategic pillars, we are preparing more and better female players, female coaches, and referees. Let me remind you that for each of the teams that will participate this July, we will have a requirement that at least one coach on the bench must be a woman. And of course, among the referees that will officiate the championship will be the top female referees from around the world. So there will be 16 teams coming in July in Debrecen, and their goal will be to win this beautiful new trophy. So I look forward to seeing the stars of tomorrow on the court, and I wish the best of success to all 16 teams in today's draw. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zaklis. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard about all many attractions and the fantastic history that Debrecen and Hungary have to offer. FIBA and Debrecen also have a strong history together, as the Hungarian city has been host to multiple FIBA competitions in the past, including numerous FIBA 3x3 events, and most recently the Under-19 Women's World Cup last year. Let's take a glimpse of this beautiful city. We all look for this July and for welcoming basketball's young stars in Debrecen, Hungary, and celebrating their successes. And now it's time to begin today's proceedings and start the official draw of the FIBA Under-17 Women's Basketball World Cup. But before I start this, I would like to call to the stage Miss Anna Berthold from FIBA, the FIBA competition manager. Welcome on board, welcome on stage, Anna. How are you?
Thank you, good afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thanks. It's now better that you are with me. I'm not alone here.
The pleasure is mine.
So we are so close to the draw. Please, in some words, please summarize how it's going to happen.
So, the draw principles. The goal of each draw is to have groups with similar quality and also spread the teams from the continents across the groups evenly. So to do so today, in part 1, we have the highest FIBA ranked team, USA. We also have Canada and France and the host nation, Hungary. In part 2, we have the teams from Europe, starting with Germany, And then we have Europe TBD, which is a team that will be decided in a near future by FIBA. And we also have Spain and Slovenia. For part 3, we have the 4 Asian teams that will be determined in the Asian Championship in June 2022. So therefore we will refer to Asia 1, Asia 2, Asia 3, and Asia 4 in order to determine the pairing afterwards. For the last part, we have 2 teams from Americas and 2 teams from Africa. The 2 teams from America is Mexico and Argentina, and the 2 teams from America is Mali and Egypt. We will draw each team, or all 4 teams from each pot, and then spread them across the 4 different groups. Immediately after that, we will also draw a competition number in order to know the pairing, and this will also decide the game schedule for the group phase of this championship. We do have a condition, but first let me say for the 3 first pots, there's straight draw without any condition. Then for the last pot, the 4th pot, the 2 teams from Americas cannot go into the same group as a team from Americas already allocated. So therefore, we will know that we'll go into the first available group in alphabetical order. It seems pretty easy, right?
Of course. Thanks. It was a very good information for us.
Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to this draw.
Thank you, Mr. Bertold. So, ladies and gentlemen, the stage is ready, and now we know how it's going to happen. But we'll need some help to carry it out and do this. I'm very happy to invite former Hungarian international player, Ms. Tima Béres. Please join us.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here.
Hi, we are very happy too as well. We know that you have a very, very special career, more than 10 years in the Hungarian national team and very successful in the European field as well. How important was for you to represent your country in the international tournaments?
It's always a pleasure. It's always an honor to represent my country. And like an athlete, it was my main goal during my career.
This July in Debrecen, there will be many, many talented young players. What advice would you give to them?
My message is for them that work hard, enjoy the game, and focus on the future.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Tima Béres. And now we need some helping hand for the draw. So I'm just inviting to the stage 2 very talented Hungarian basketball players from the Debrecen Basketball Academy, Ms. Zita Szabó and Ms. Dorottya Szabados. Please come and join us. So if everything is ready, Ms. Bertold, please, let's start the draw. I'm passing the ball to you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the draw. Please, Timea, the first team from part 1 will go into Group A. And that team is the host nation, Hungary. Hungary will move into Group A with the competition number.
Hungary have reached the semi-finals twice, claiming 3rd place in 2014.
With the competition number 2. The second team from part 1 is France. France will move in to Group B. With the competition number?
France twice claimed 2nd place, losing the United States in the final in 2010 and 2018.
With the competition number 2. The third team from part 1 is Canada. Canada will move into Group C with the competition number.
Canada's top performance came in 2012 when they took 3rd place.
With the competition number 2. Then the last team in part 1, as we know, they will move into Group D, and that is USA. USA will move into Group D with the competition number.
The United States had won 4 of the 5 under-17 Women's World Cup titles, as well the 3rd place in 2016.
With the competition number 2. Then we move on to part 2, and the first country from part 2 is Europe TBD. Europe TBD will move into Group A with the competition number.
Following FIBA's recent decision, the team that will take the last spot from Europe will be decided upon by FIBA's Central Board.
With the competition number 3, the second team from part 2 that will move into Group B is Slovenia. Slovenia will move into Group B with the competition number.
Slovenia will be making their debut after taking first place at their FIBA Under-16 Women's European Challenger.
With the competition number 4. Next team from part 2 will move into Group C. And that team is Spain. Spain will move into Group C with the competition number.
Spain have 2 second-place podium finishes, reaching the final in 2012 and 2014.
With the competition number 3. Then the last team in part 2, which will move into Group D, is Germany. Germany will move into that group with the competition number.
Germany will be making their debut after winning a tiebreaker among 5 teams in the qualifying tournament.
Competition number 1. Then we'll move on to part 3. So the first team will move into Group A. That is Asia 2. Asia 2 will move into Group A with the competition number.
This is the second team from FIBA's Asia-Oceania region that will be determined at the FIBA Under-16 Women's Asian Championship being played in June.
With the competition number 4. The second team from part 3, which will move into Group B, is Asia 1. Asia 1 will have a competition number.
This is the first team from FIBA's Asia-Oceania region that will be determined at the FIBA Under-16 Women's Asian Championship being played in June.
Competition number 1. Third team from part 3 will move into Group C, and that team is Asia 3. Asia 3 in Group C with the competition number.
This is the third team from FIBA's Asia-Oceania region that will be determined at the FIBA Under-16 Women's Asian Championship being played in June.
With the competition number 4. And then the last team from part 3, which will move into Group D, is Asia 4. Asia 4 will move into Group D with the competition number.
This is the fourth team from FIBA's Asia-Oceania region that will be determined at the FIBA Under-16 Women's Asian Championship being played in June.
With the competition number 4. Then as a reminder, we move on to part 4. Here we have the conditions. So the 2 teams from Americas cannot go into a group where we already have a team from Americas. So the first team from part 4 is Mali. Mali will move into Group A with the competition number.
Mali's 10th place finishes in 2012 and 2018 are the best ever results for an African country.
With the competition number 1. Second team from part 4 is Egypt. Egypt will move into Group Egypt needs to move into a group where we have a team from Americas. Therefore, they will move into the first available group. So it's Group C. With the competition number,
Egypt will be playing in their second tournament after debuting in 2014.
competition number 1. Next team from Part 4 is Argentina. Argentina will move into first available group, and that will be Group B. With the competition number,
Argentina will be playing in their third tournament, having last played in the 2018 edition.
with the competition number 3. And then finally, the last team from Part 4 is Mexico. Mexico will move into group Our head of competition is approaching. So we have a mistake. Mali will need to go into group D, and the last team that was just picked will move into group A. Correct? This is correct. And they will move into with the competition number.
This will be Mexico's third appearance on the Under-17 World Cup stage, having last played in 2016.
We have 3, but it needs to be competition number 1 then. Could you confirm this, head of competition from FIBA? Yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that completes the draw.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the draw for the FIBA Under-17 Women's Basketball World Cup 2022 is now complete, and these are the groups. USA Group A, Mexico, Hungary, Europe TBD and Asia 2. Group B, Asia 1, France, Argentina, Slovenia. Group C, Egypt, Canada, Spain, Asia 3. And Group D, Germany, USA, Mali, and Asia 4. Thank you once again, Ms. Tima Béres and Ms. Zita Szabó and Ms. Dorottya Szabados, and for helping us as well. Thank you, Ms. Bartold.
Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our draw is over right now. Thank you for being with us here in Hungary and all around the world. Don't forget that from July the show is starting and we are waiting for you for the tournament as well. See you in Debrecen and all the best till then. Minden.